It's good to be back, Sheever. I'm kind of excited about this game. I was super excited, but I can't figure out who this second stand-in is for Navi. I know RMN. RMN is what I guess the English idiom is you'd call a jobber. He's been in a lot of different European teams, primarily as a stand-in. He usually plays mid. I expect that he will not be playing mid this game, probably standing in Puppy's slot as the second support. But I don't know, because I don't know who the second stand-in is or what position he's going to play. So Navi, kind of unpredictable this game, and I don't know that Navi plus two stand-ins can beat VP, but we'll see. They certainly have a shot.
Dark Seer.
Navi's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining.
Wait, sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you. Is your mic muted going to XSplit or to OBS?
Yes! It is!
Alright.
Oops. So, hey, welcome back to StarLadder Season 6. Day 13. It all sounds so anticlimactic now that I have my microphone on and I didn't have before. Well, you saw the scores. The only team that has beaten Navi so far in StarLadder Season 6 is DD, and that's a team that virtus.pro is facing after this one. This game will decide who is going to be the top dog here, virtus.pro or Navi. And as I already pointed out, RMN is someone that plays a lot with Kuroki together.
Yep.
So they have got a bit of synergy together. And sorry for this lack of sound. People on Dota TV didn't have any issue with that. Obviously, if you had to buy a ticket, you know, then you would have heard me, but otherwise not. So kudos to everybody in Dota TV. Sorry for everybody on the stream. It happens, you know, production value and all that jazz. Anyways, it is a Naga Siren.
So VP, one of the teams that's trying to sort of reintegrate Naga Siren into the metagame. The other team is DD. We've seen use Naga Siren, so this is going to be a carry position. So Illidan, Airman, is going to be playing that Naga. It's got some nice features about it. One of the downsides of Naga Siren is a very low base damage because she received a passel of nerfs after TI2. So that will make it somewhat difficult to get last hits in lane, especially if Navi put an aggressive tri-lane right up in the face of VP. But there's a lot of upside. That ultimate Song of the Siren, people might not have seen it in a while if you haven't seen Naga games, but that is a game-changing ultimate. And when you are facing up against a lifestealer, one of the dumb tricks you can do is to cast the Song of Siren when he's raged and try to just kill him out while the rest of his team can't help him, because Song of the Siren does not affect magic immune targets.
Yeah, and that can actually work pretty nicely for virtus.pro, and it can work against the lifestealer in his magic community. So we'll see how they'll deal with that. I mean, in terms of bans, it is not as standard as we're normally seeing them. I mean, Bedrider made it through, of course, as well as a lifestealer, and Lone Druid, Gyro, Puck, and Wisp getting banned out. So the Puck quite surprising there, allowing virtus.pro to pick up a Queen of Pain, a very dominant mid. Will probably be up against that Bedrider though, so it's not going to be easy. But still interesting to note that. And of course, support's getting banned out right now for Navi. I mean, that's a solid decision there, because knowing that the Naga Siren, so you're probably all going to be taking one lane. Even if Naga Siren, in theory, I mean, we know that Airman loves to play her. But we have also seen Naga Siren being played as support, so they still have some versatility there. We have the Nyx Assassin getting banned out last year, with the Keeper of Light, Visage, and Undying all getting banned out for virtus.pro. So a lot of supports here banned out, but they'll pick up a Clockwork here. Could be still a solo.
Yeah, it's a total grab bag of support bans, honestly. You see things like Treant Protector here. I actually think this Treant's a pretty smart ban. VP, one of the teams that doesn't mind playing Treant, although it doesn't quite fit into their super hyper aggressive with the whole team approach. Usually the way you play Treant Protector is that he actually protects your solos, so he uses the living armor on the solo heroes, which lets the solo heroes play much more aggressively. So for instance, Queen of Pain is good with Treant because he can put the living armor and dive in, but instead they've gone with Silencer. virtus.pro were wrecking with this Silencer earlier today, so I'm excited to see Arsart once again on a Silencer, who in a support position is one of those heroes that can completely break out and suddenly dominate the game. He is such a high upside hero. But, of course, we also have to talk about Dendi on the Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, this will leave the Bat Rider to go into the jungle most likely with the clock on the off lane, dual lane, a safe lane, Lifestealer and Lina. They have a very red theme, by the way, just wanted to point that out.
Wow, they are Team Red.
They are Team Red. It is red versus green, which is interesting since Na'Vi is actually on the Radiant team, so, you know, it doesn't really fit. But I believe we actually casted a game together where Arsart was playing his Silencer. And he had most kills of everybody.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he dominated. And at the beginning, I was like, because it was right after Chuan went like 9-0, and then Arsart went like 12-1, and he's like, whatever, Chuan's a scrub.
Yeah, kind of just showing who's boss there. Well, let's see who's gonna be playing what, because I already saw some people in the chat like, isn't Arsart playing on virtus.pro? Yes, he is. He is actually playing on their Gerkog Smilovic. He's playing on their Smile. That is his previous nick, but it is Arsart in the Silencer this game. Tamai Wild playing the Queen of Pain, Illidan Stormraze or Airman playing the Naga Siren. We will see KSI on his Darkseer, NS playing Rubik this game, and that is all 5 of virtus.pro going towards the top lane. They won't find anybody of Na'Vi though, because as we already were expecting, they are playing it quite safe with Phonic on the Lina with his nice very soul set. We're already starting out clearing some trees to be able to get some better pools and stacks going, perhaps, to get as much out of the jungle as he can. He'll be supporting Dendi, by the looks of it, who is going to be on this bottom safe lane farming, and that will leave Bat Rider still in the mid lane. Our man, the stand-in rather, playing the Bat Rider. It won't be an easy job for him, for sure. Up against the Queen of Pain should be fairly even, but then again, in terms of Tamar Wild being a very experienced mid, will be a troublesome lane maybe for him. We'll see how he'll handle that one. We have Kuroki playing the Lifestealer also here. It looks like they're gonna be jungling together. So they will leave the Bat mid, leaving the Clockwork by stand-in Yo-Ho-Ho-Ho. I'm just gonna call him Yo-Ho, because otherwise it would be awkward in a team fight or something like that. He'll be on the safe lane, suicide lane, solo rather. But that is an interesting laning composition that Na'Vi have here.
It certainly is. So I actually like this. I feel like if you're running stand-ins, you should try to run them in the positions that they're most comfortable in. I mean, we saw this in Power Rangers, right? Where they gave the guy the solo mid Slark because that's all he plays. So RMN is typically a mid player. His signature heroes are things like Templar Assassin, to some extent Bat Rider, Storm Spirit also. So it's good that they gave him mid, because Dendi is really... Simply because Dendi is one of the most purely overall talented players on the scene, he can play this #1 position Shadow Fiend with absolutely no issue. It's a hero that hasn't really seen that much play. People love this guy, especially Dota 1 players love him, because in Dota 1 he's sort of a very signature hero of the game. He's able to deal a lot of damage at all stages of the game. As you farm up Necromastery stacks, your damage relative to the damage of everybody else on the map is really, really high. And, of course, he brings that huge raise damage in the early to mid-game. The idea with Shadow Fiend is that you dominate the early to mid-game so much that he outfarms everyone on the map, and so the fact that he's not that amazing of a hard carry ends up not mattering. And so that's basically what you see Na'Vi going for here.
Yeah, and it's also what they're getting, because Dendi is getting absolute free farm here on this bottom lane. Nobody of virtus.pro hanging around here. They're actually jungling together right now, the Darkseer as well as the Rubik, which is nice. They're getting something. In the meantime, there's 3 lanes that Na'Vi is getting something on. And the jungle they are getting, as well as Phonic is jungling and Kuroki is jungling. They're actually having 2 separate jungles for themselves, so Kuroki a bit more on the small camp on one side and Phonic doing the rest. But it is still... It feels like Na'Vi is just getting more out of the whole game, out of the whole map right now in terms of farm, compared to virtus.pro.
It's certainly a lineup that needs a lot more farm, so in that respect, I agree with you, they're definitely getting more, but they need to get more or they just kind of lose. So it's kind of a balance where Na'Vi have the much, much greedier lineup, but so far they've done a good job making it work.
Gonna go
this
for
is trouble for Yo-Ho-Ho.
Yeah, the cogs are there, it might be helping out a bit, but the telekinesis is there as well, jumping in range of Illidan, and Yo-Ho-Ho will be taking a fall here with one more extra click, but he pops himself! Illidan diving! That one right click couldn't get the job done, but maybe one more. No! Still not! That does shield! The flare hits! And this is a very low Naga Siren. Doesn't look like anybody is gonna try to pick him up though, but whoa. He is gonna be so happy he has that shield.
Under attack.
This is that it's the shield making a huge difference, I agree, and Naga's low base damage. I mean, they gave him the poor man's shield, he has the Iron Branch and the boots just to sort of chase and get that kill, and still doesn't actually manage to bring him down. Not to mention, Illidan is now forced back to the fountain, so that's just extremely punishing. Good news for VP is Team My Wild is actually winning his lane comfortably. I feel like RMN is focusing too much on getting a ton of stacks on Queen of Pain of the Napalm and neglecting his last hitting a little bit. So even though he's doing fine, like he has 10 last hits, Queen of Pain has 8 denies. He's way ahead on XP, level 5 to level 4.
Now that's a big difference, and of course, I mean, those level 6s are very important for these mid heroes. You have got the Sonic Wave that you can try to make things happen with. Maybe for Arman it's a bit more important to get that level 6 even, just to make sure that he has that lasso, trying to make something happen. But you're right, this is the one lane that virtus.pro can be really comfortable about. And of course they're not really losing top lane, but they just indeed lost a lot with having Airman just forced to walk back to base. On the good side of that, I mean, the supports got some extra farm because they stuck around and they actually got themselves some lasses of their own and some experience of their own, making them all level 3. KSI level 4. Ooh, Tamo Wild, 3 stacks. Open moves were already done. Has got a blink in 3 seconds, should be enough. Light Strike Array though, never mind. Funnick with the first blood. KSI coming in, that sticky napalm really hurting a Dark Seer. Fate Bolt going through, it is Rubik that still picks up the Lifestealer. Funnick in some trouble, gonna get chased down, will be killed off as well. That's a double kill, or at least 2 kills going away virtus.pro in return for their solo mid going down.
Actually, overall, I would say not worth it for Navi, although the big win there is you get the Batrider back up to par. He was struggling a little bit in this lane, and now with this kill on Tame My Wild pulling it out of the lane, it really gives RMN that opportunity to catch up in a lane that he's kind of probably shouldn't be losing and is losing by a little bit. So that was a nice kill for Navi. Of course, when you have rank 1 blink, and you blink early in a gank, you just don't end up having the blink. Like, you're still slowed afterwards, and the range is shorter as well. So a good kill, but they lose Korakai and Funnick, as well as Arsart, of course, picks up 4 intelligence from that.
And that's actually, like we already talked about, the semi-carry potential that Arsart has on this hero, and having that many intellect actually already at 5 minutes into the game extra, it's gonna make a big difference for him, and he'll be of a big impact later on as well, as we see that our man is still not level 6, Tame Wild also not though. Because of that kill, like you said, it put them even again. We will have them soon level 6 though, and when they are, I think we're gonna see some action coming up from Tame Wild, more so than maybe our men. Because of that failed gank in the end, I'm thinking Navi is gonna be a bit more careful the next time they're gonna try something.
At this point, because the gank failed, Korakai needs to spend a little bit more time farming in the jungle for a couple more levels. And this is okay, because he's also providing levels to Funnick, so they're actually leveling both of these supports. And there's one other important thing to talk about, which is this... Oh, sorry.
This gank, that's his gank, yep. There's gonna be Airman. He's flying fast, though, and he should be out safe. Just in time with the Firefly. The silence was there, but... well, not in time. And a smoke up from the arrest as well. Funnick coming in with the haste rune, looking for a light strike array, gets it blind, but is there enough damage? No, the blink will still be there, and Tame My Wild should be fine, but the rotation came from the supports, and Tangle up on Yo-Ho-Ho, he doesn't have his cogs. This time, I don't think he's gonna escape from this, and he indeed drops. It is Arsart once again with a kill.
Now, the plus side for Navi is, of course, all this attention. Because Navi's lineup has so many heroes that VP want to focus, virtus.pro have done nothing to constrict Dendi. And I mentioned earlier, Shadow Fiend left alone can completely dominate the mid-game. This Naga Siren, as okay as he's doing, I mean, he just has Ring of Health, really, and a poor man's shield. Whereas Dendi is well on the way to Shadowblade. Actually, in only maybe 1 or 2 more creep camps, he will have that Shadowblade up. That gives him good initiation, great damage, and just a capability. Sooner or later, VP have to have a plan for dealing with this SF, and Silencer gets them part of the way there, because Global Silence is actually quite effective against this hero, but it won't get him the whole way there. Tame My Wild in trouble again, also. Oh, he's okay. Flame Break didn't catch him, and he's okay. He blinked the correct way, that was very good.
Kuroki being aggressively drawing on the map after that.
Yeah, not happy about that gank, I guess.
Nope. Well, he is himself not doing too bad, I guess, considering that he died once. In terms of farm, he's still ahead of the support Silencer, which is having, of course, 2 kills, so I'm actually comparing him to him a bit, but not sure how legit that actually is. By the way, what are you expecting? Indeed, after the Shadowblade that Dandy is going to be picking up in about 30 gold, will he be aggressive or will he continue farming? Because he's got free farm. Will he actually give that up?
Dendy is a pretty aggressive player, so he usually, when he's in mid, he generally, he'll farm for like one item that's big and then go out and do a lot of work. Sometimes not even that, so I would expect him to start participating. The thing is, Na'Vi have a lineup that can go pretty aggressive and catch people out. They've got the Bat Rider, who will hit Blink, not at a fantastic time, but only in about 2 or 3 more minutes, and they have the capability to take the fight to VP, and I think they'll want to. Arsard, however, if they get one more kill for the Silencer, he'll have his global silence and part of a mech.
And they're looking for it right now. They get Yo-Ho-Ho. He still has his cogs, so he's looking for Arsard, actually. Might be able to do something here. Actually backs off. And with the harassment, is able to maybe force that mech. Never mind, he's dead. He is so dead. At least he did a lot of damage to NS before going out. NS TPs himself out safely, though. Tema Wild opens up. Open wounds. There's a light strike array. Global silence is there though, and Tema Wild will be able to blink away. Kuroki on the hunt. Flame Break helping out. Actually helping out quite a bit, and a Dragon Slave coming in with Kuroki in the last hit. Tema Wild, he drops in the end.
He's really struggling. I think maybe another rank of Blink would have done him a world of good. Dendy might initiate on KSI here. KSI only has 900 HP. I think Dendy can take this. One more raise.
Oh, 11 HPs. Well, that is just tough luck.
Yeah, very, very close to getting that kill. The problem with Tema Wild here is he's still on brown boots. He is now struggling to actually stay ahead on levels. He's only about tied with the leaders of the pack as far as levels go. And the fact that he has level 1 Blink and he's not hitting level 9 anytime soon means that he is stuck with this level 1 Blink for a very long time, and it's going to keep causing him problems in terms of not dying in these tough situations. The good news for VP Arsard is, again, from the support position, already stolen 8 intelligence. He's level 6, he has rank 3 last word, and building mechanism fairly quickly, so the Silencer could be a scale tipper.
Yeah, I definitely think he could, because with a fast mechanism, which he is definitely on the right path towards, they could actually start taking down fights. And Na'Vi, I think they would still, even though they look strong and they've got that Shadow Blade, Shadow Fiend, their Lifestealer is not ready yet. Their Lina is, even though she is level 6, not really ready yet. Their Clockwork is not ready yet. And virtus.pro could try and take fights, especially with their Global Silence helping out, and just shut Na'Vi down in that way. Even with the threat of taking fights would be enough.
I agree. Lifestealer is a hero that, despite the fact that he's mostly auto-attack damage based, is actually vulnerable to getting silenced. So if they silence, they have multiple ways of actually dealing with Kuroki. Now, luckily Na'Vi aren't solely relying on this Lifestealer to carry the game for them. They've gone with this multi-core lineup with the Shadow Fiend. Here we go.
Fiend, yeah, open. Oh, ban Dendy. But they just still want to go there. He still wants to do this. After Airman goes down. He actually stood there realizing at some point that he was in the midst of 4 heroes because they were ganking up on Airman. But he still went for the Requiem of Souls. Didn't get anything with it apart from forcing them back. But interesting to see that he actually took that chance. As an infested Clopper, by the way, looking for a hook. Finds it on Tamar. Well, wow, that's a fast death.
This Queen of Pain is the main weak link here, and Na'Vi are doing a good job of picking it apart. That said, Airman farming, he does have this Ring of Health. I suspect this is probably going to be a Lincoln Sphere. I can't really see him building Vanguard in this case, so Lincoln Sphere it most likely is. And again, it means that the Naga Siren will not have that advantage over Shadow Fiend. He will be dangerous. This could be trouble for Arsard. I think he's dead.
Yep.
Middle. Yep.
There we
Easy
go.
Kill. That's the first death for Arsard this game, and that's a good pick for Na'Vi. This Dendy is not being dealt with right now. We talked about how he'll get one item and join the fray, and that's what he's done, and it's paying some dividends.
Yeah, not to mention that Kuroki actually gets himself some extra gold with that kill, meaning that he can be of more impact later on in the game, because he wasn't doing all that well, of course, and also with that first death on the gank attempt there when they got the first blood. So he managed to pick up where he left off, and he actually is on par where he should be, I feel like, as we have got no blink dagger yet out on the Bat Rider. There we go, almost 10 gold. Like, this is a late blink for a solo mid bat.
Yeah, it's quite late. He didn't have the easiest lane early on, but 12 minutes is only about 2 minutes behind where you'd really want it, and with Bat Rider, you're going to blink either way. You're never going to skip it, so it's actually an okay timing, considering the fact that the rest of Na'Vi have done well enough to buffer a lack of, like, perfect performance in the mid.
Yeah, we also have, of course, Yoho, well, being able to contribute to these fights with the hookshot, of course. He doesn't really need more than levels, which is normally why he's on the offlane. His farm is definitely not something to write home about, but he is able to stand here and just be a nuisance in this lane. He is going to help Danny try and kill off Arsat once again. There's the Global Silence trying to help out. I don't think he's going to get it, though. Oh, the TP in from KSI coming in. Battery Assault still doing a lot of damage. One more hit needed though. That Iron Shell still burning away. The hookshot actually used for that. And as he TP'd in, looking for a telekinesis. Can he find it? No, he can't, because he already used it up on Dandy earlier on when he TP'd in. And that is a Clockwork home safe.
Yeah, nice little dive there by Na'Vi. Again, feeling like they can pressure. They have a slight bit of a level advantage, especially on these supports. Funnick has done a good job of basically just following Kurokai around, and he's vampiring some of Kurokai's levels to get this Lina levels. Nice thing is, Lina as a support is a fantastic return on leveling. And what you're sort of seeing here is because you have a level 7 Lina who has that timely Laguna Blade, between Lina and Shadow Fiend, I'm going to pull up a stat to sort of prove the point I'm about to make. Let's take a look at the HP pools on Virtus.pro, and then compare that to the fact that pre-reduction, Shadow Fiend 3 raises deal 900, and Laguna Blade deals 450, which is to ignore all the other magic damage that Na'Vi can deal. They're just going to tear apart these VP heroes in any fight that Global Silence isn't available for.
Yeah, it's so tough. I mean, they let consciously Dandy free farm, so you would expect them to have a way to deal with that. But the only problem is the way to deal with that is for also them getting a lot out of their other lanes. And their mid lane not as successful as it should be. That Queen of Pain having a very tough time, as we already pointed out. And even though Airman is doing nice on the farm, I guess, even though I'm not quite sure anymore that he wants to go for a Lincoln Sphere, because this is suspiciously looking for a
Radiance? You're Radiance?
I'm actually thinking he might, yes.
Radiance is the thing you can do. Once you see that the Shadow Fiend is basically free farmed, you can try to go over the top, and Radiance does improve your farm substantially. I don't think it's the solution for team fights. In fact, it will probably make their team fight situation worse for him to spend all that money on a Radiance, just because fights won't last long enough for it to win. But it will help him farm, and it'll help him sort of exceed the point at which Shadow Fiend dominates, because of course Dendi, building BKB, the almost always follow-up item after Shadow Blade.
Very true. Sorry, slightly distracted there. KSI, he has got 1400 gold, 1500. What do you expect him to go for, actually? Because we have got the mechanism already built up by Arsart, who is, by the way, since I mentioned that he's gonna get a fast mechanism, he's actually died twice, so it's quite delayed right now.
It's slowed down a lot, and he hasn't stolen any intellect since the last time I brought him up too. Darkseer items you asked about. He has to go pipe. I don't see him going anything else other than pipe. We were just talking about the amount of magic damage Na'Vi can output. You're not going to BKB up your entire team, and you won't have Global Silence in every fight, but you can have the pipe up. Additionally, pipe is also a great personal survival item. It gives you percentage magic resistance. It gives you good healing regeneration, which is great for Darkseer, a hero that needs to be in close. So I would say it's almost mandatory for Virtus.pro to start the pipe right now.
We'll see. Dendi is looking for an opening here. Arstart's going to be the target once again, though. Can he actually take him down with the Global Silence there to stop the raises? Maybe he can. I think he thinks he can. No, he can't. He realizes that now too. Sends him on his way with a couple of raises. Flare coming in just to harass. Counter ward being done here, by the way, straight away. That ward was only standing there for a very short period of time, but it got scouted out. We do have an infest on the Clockwork. Karoki sitting comfortably within the, well, hollow encasement of the Clockwork, I guess.
Airman's going Radiance after all. You were right. He saves up for it, but they need to play very defensively. That's partially why you see this heavy defensive warding on their side of the map from Virtus.pro, but they're going to have to keep countering these wards non-stop. I think maybe even a gem on... Oh, there we go. They missed the hookshot?
They missed the hookshot. Yeah.
So that's good. VP need to not give up any more kills, frankly. Every kill is a huge pain because it could mean they lose more towers. They need to hold on to as many towers as possible to control their side of the map to use this Radiance. Because again, Radiance won't win them fights. It will only let Airman farm the entire jungle, which means they need access to that jungle and they need to not die.
Yeah, so far we see exactly that drawing on Karoki on the top in the Dire jungle. Like, he was knowing what you were talking about. That jungle, that's the one we need to shut down. They have got control over their own jungle, but it's still a very even map in that regard, like an even map in terms of map control. The river clearly signaling which side is whose, with only a couple really going over that line, with Dendy being one of them, knowing that he is safe with that Shadow Blade there. And we haven't really seen virtus.pro trying to go for that much aggression yet, and we know why, obviously, because the Queen of Pain would be the one to do that, but not having that great start allows her to not, or doesn't allow her to do that, rather. We have got Naga Simon, of course, still not ready to farm, so... Or with her farm. Wow, English is hard. But... I'm kinda thinking virtus.pro, they need to get some aggression going, because otherwise they will just allow Na'Vi to do whatever they want to do. And that's a Dire's courier picked off by Dendy with a haste run.
Yeah, nice courier snipe there. He probably gets out of this no problem because he does have the haste. Again, good defensive play from VP here, but they don't have a choice. They must be defensive against a Na'Vi lineup that can chase and kill them. So good poise. They actually smoke up. They may try to either find a kill or just reposition themselves. This is very interesting.
I'm thinking they're gonna go for Denny. They need him. Do they have any detection though? Tamar Wild has got dust, so yeah, but they think that he is still around there. We just saw him / heard him TP out, and he's actually on the way to try and kill off Illidan, who has no idea that he is right here. I think he is running, of course. TP out. Is there gonna be enough? Yeah, flame break. That's a kill.
Yeah, they pick off Airman, and this is actually tragic because it's just as he was about to actually buy the Radiance. So it's even further delayed now. You can see he's holding on to 11... actually, was it on the courier?
No,
it wasn't.
empty.
So he was just about to afford that. Na'Vi couldn't have picked a better time to kill that Naga Siren. He's going to lose a minute and a half of using that Radiance to farm.
Yeah, at least virtus.pro is getting something in return for this. With them all coming towards the bottom lane, would be a waste if they didn't get anything in return for that. But they are gonna get the tier 1 tower, so that's gonna be some extra gold to their pocket, with Tamar Wild picking up the last hit. Courier now back alive for them as well. Happy times, or at least it seems that way. Actually, no, it's not. That's a bug in the graphics, I guess. That's a Radiance ready. Tier 1 tower top taken down as well. That is all the outer towers gone on the side of virtus.pro. There's only one tower difference though. Only that tier 1 tower on the side of Na'Vi is still standing.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Yeah, absolutely. So the thing is that virtus.pro can't actually use this top tier 1 for Na'Vi to do anything. All it gives them access to is potentially the Ancients, and Naga can't actually farm the Ancients right now because Radiance doesn't help. Also, you can see her illusions aren't actually tanky enough to live through a damage combo from Lina. So he's not going to be able to really use them in team fights, and they're quickly losing control of the area that they need to farm.
Yeah, she's really a glass cannon still right now. She actually uses her song because Armen was looking for that engagement, looking for that lasso. He's now in a world of trouble though, but the hookshot comes in. They try to save their team member. Global silence going off though. Dendy, he doesn't need silence to hit. Look at the damage that he pulls out on our start. It will still be Yoho that goes down.
Sir.
There goes the Requiem of Souls. Doesn't really do that much, and Na'Vi, they have to back out of this one, unless they still get a lasso and an invest, and they go for Illidan, and Illidan goes down. That is also Arsart still being picked to pieces. Kuroki goes on a Nest next, and Nest goes down. That's a double kill. Tamar Wild, KSI, last two alive, want to get something in return, might be the courier, will be the courier. That is something nice for them to have. Kuroki tries to TP out, should be able to do exactly that. Let's see what is in the courier of the Radiant team rather. Ew, it was actually the armlet of Kuroki.
Sorry about that laggy stats pop up. I didn't mean for that to come out in the middle of the
fight.
Oh,
no, that's okay.
So that was actually a pretty good fight for VP overall, I think, especially considering how early the Song of the Siren landed, that they couldn't sort of abuse it too much. They did perfectly respectably there, basically trading 3 for 3. I think they brought down a lot of people that they could. They didn't get Dendy, so that actually completes his BKB. That's what I'm kind of scared of, is just the ability of the Shadow Fiend to be intimidating. Like, yes, you can respond to the BKB with Song of the Siren, but Dendy at this point is strong enough that he can probably bring some people down, even if you sort of isolate him.
Definitely, and I mean, we saw it also. I mean, the Global Silence, even though he can't cast his Raises or his Requiem of Souls, the damage that he is pulling out right now is just... Nobody can actually do something while that silence is going on. They have to actually run from Dendy, and he is not afraid of that silence. The only annoying thing is that you don't hear anything in terms of, I guess, spells, which is something that I normally have a lot of value to, but maybe that's because I'm a caster. But yeah, he can just start hitting stuff. And that stuff will definitely die, especially if there are supports in terms of, yeah, Arsart as well as the Rubik and S.
Airman getting a little bit unlucky here with the mud golems. He can't start his Radiance farm just yet, but you can see that he's starting to clear out those camps. Virtus.pro actually have a nice start here because Illidan, even though he's died twice, has comparable net worth to Dendi already. He's at about 8,700, Dendi's at 9,000. Of course, a lot of that is bound up in this Radiance, but the faster Illidan hits some more items, the more you're going to see VP have better and better teamfights, honestly. This Naga Siren can become a force to be reckoned with because he hasn't been completely shut down. If we were sort of chastising VP for not shutting Dendi down earlier, it has to be said that Na'Vi haven't completely shut down Airman. He's gotten this Radiance in a pretty decent timing, and now he's using it.
Yeah, he just really needs to get some extra survivability, so a heart. Maybe even, I'm not expecting it really, but a Vanguard with that Ring of Health, like, he has that Ring of Health. Might be still thinking about it, depending on how much farm he's going to be able to get, because at some point, if he doesn't get the farm for a heart, a Vanguard wouldn't actually be that bad, just to give those illusions that survivability to actually get that farm going, because this is a time that he needs to be able to get that farm going, and right now, he's not getting it done, even though slightly RNG'd with the mod columns.
Yeah, I honestly, that's an interesting question. I think he probably could rush the heart. Although you're right that Vanguard would be very cheap now. All he needs is 700 more and then 950 more gold to afford a full Vanguard. Might not be the worst idea, honestly, despite the fact that not all the stats percolate over. It's still a good way of increasing your survivability in these fights. The main thing I would love to see, of course, is the pipe, and they actually haven't built it. They've built a Force Staff for better initiation from KSI. It does give you the opportunity for a little bit more of that potential combo with the... Well, actually, they don't have that much to combo off of it. Basically, Vac into Sonic Wave is the best thing that they have as far as vacuum combos. He does have the Force Staff for repositioning as well, but I would really, really love to see a pipe for Virtus.pro. I think it would make such a huge difference.
Yeah, the only upside also is, of course, that he can Force Staff his teammates out of the cogs. This is probably one of the main reasons that he also got that. And we'll see we'll see what Na'Vi is going to do next, because they just drew on the minimap once again. I think they want to go for some more action, and it is an infest up on Dendi. Would be 4 versus 2 though, but apparently they feel manly and they feel good and they're gonna try it. Let's see how far they get. They see that now that there's a lot of people. Actually, no, they were only seeing Queen of Pain. This is nighttime, they didn't see the rest. Queen of Pain jumps herself out just in time, and the infest out is not even there.
That was actually an extremely, really boss blink right there. He didn't take the early Requiem damage, he took the late Requiem damage. Very nice. Oh,
hook shot in. Finds Arsar. Global Silence is still there. Forced up out of the cogs. Leaves Rubik in there. Rubik goes down. The Dark Seer wall goes off. BKB pop, but Dendi gets burnt down, but with his ult, he'll take down the Dark Seer as well, as we see Queen of Pain cleaning out Yo-Ho-Ho. It's a 2-for-2 trade for now, but Kuroki was still chasing down Arsard and takes him down as well. Now Kuroki will be dead, and that's a 3-for-3 trade in the end, with a trade going in favor of Virtus.pro, I think.
Absolutely, I would say an extremely favorable trade for VP. They bring down Dendi. And you already saw the Force Staff in work. If you get mispositioned, if Clockwork initiates on you, just save your fellow teammate by Force Staffing him out of the cogs. And they got the combo. They got we were just talking about their only good combo is Vac on the wall and then Sonic Wave. And that's exactly what they did there, bringing Dendi down extremely quickly. He BKB'd a little bit early. Overall, VP looking pretty... balanced here, actually. Oh, nice play by Funnick, but nice silence coming out of Arsar to save NS. Funnick. Otherwise, he was dead.
Ooh, yeah, he's dead.
He wants the Laguna, but he can't get it. He will not get the Laguna.
Nope. And that is gonna be another kill on the boards for VP. And even though Na'Vi, they dominated their lanes. I mean, they kind of, in my book, won the lane. We see the skill score 13 to 12, very even. The gold graph never went above 4k in favor of Na'Vi, which is really not that much. Experience graph around 5k. Never really above that either, so never really that big of a difference either. And we see a Hex now up on Teemo Wild. So this is once more a very even game that is looking actually quite dangerous for Na'Vi right now, purely because of the team fight potential that Virtus.pro have.
Queen of Pain definitely dragging its way back after a very, very bad start. Quap now 3rd on gold per minute and 3rd on net worth. Very good job of coming back, not dying too much, getting that Scythe of Ice, which will be very effective, even though Na'Vi obviously have two 2 BKBs available for them. And the story is, Funnick was level 7 a very long time ago, and now he's leveling like a real support instead of leveling like a carry in a support's body. They don't have Mechanism, unlike VP, and here we have them smoking. This could be an opportunity for Na'Vi to get a lot done, actually.
Yeah, let's
Depends
see
on this initiation.
They've got 5 here. Bedrider on the other side and Infest on Kuroki. They find an illusion. We'll walk right past it. Last 2. They hook wrong sides. They totally disjoined this fight. Dendy in a lot of trouble. We'll get bursted down first. The last 2 didn't amount to anything. KSI on the run now as well. And that is gonna be Na'Vi on the way out. Oh my god, that light strike array hit on 3. Funnick able to at least take 1 kill off the back of that one. But that's the only one, as he'll take a fall for that. Here comes the infested Clockwork once more, who wasn't able to do anything in that fight, and will run once more, and then, oh, there's an ensnare though. Cogs try to delay it, vacuum out of the Cogs. There's the infest out, and
Nice.
S will drop because of that. Batrider tries to maybe get away, and that is Kuroki fighting for his life, not able to get another kill. Oh, actually, sorry, is able to get able to get Arsar still. And oh my god, did Kuroki and Funnick just turn that fight around for them, because it started off totally wrong for Na'Vi. Great for virtus.pro.
An awful beginning of the fight. Awful. Like, when you're smoke, when you see an enemy hero and your smoke doesn't turn off, don't hookshot that hero. Just don't do that. Kids, don't try that at home. But still, actually Kurokai, with some amazing crisis management there, he actually made VP think he had already retreated because he never de-infested from the Clockwork. VP knew he was inside the Clockwork, but they had to have assumed that he either disengaged or left the fight. Because when he pops out, the Infest almost insta-killed 1 hero, I think Tame My Wild, and he chased down and killed another. Kurokai absolutely making lemonade out of the severe lemons that Na'Vi dealt themselves in that fight. The problem here is you're seeing the Shadow Fiend have less and less of an impact. Dendi really hasn't made much happen since the early game. He was 1-0-6, now he's 2-2-8.
Yeah, he has not really been able to get, like, since he left the lane for free that he had free from on, it has not been his thing anymore. I mean, he's not been able to get all the opportunities that he needs to continue going. As you said at the start, Shadow Fiend, one of those heroes that, you know, the reason that he's considered such a strong hero is because normally he gets ahead and he stays ahead. Right now, he got ahead and then didn't really stay ahead, because now he's actually on par with virtus.pro, and that makes him a bit weaker due to the way he is built, basically.
Absolutely. I honestly think VP have done an admirable job of weathering the sort of early mid-game storm that Na'Vi set up for them, where Na'Vi were expecting to basically dominate that area, clear out all the outer towers, and be able to just win from there. The fact that VP still have 3 towers standing and aren't losing in the kill standings is actually quite a big deal, and a lot of that has to do with some very excellent play by Darkseer this game. KSI really, it's not his most popular hero. It's only he doesn't play it nearly as much as he plays Lone Druid and Nature's Prophet, but I'm always impressed when I do see his Darkseer, and he's had a pretty big game in this mid-game, now finishing the pipe that we were talking about as critical for VP's chances.
Yeah, and we see that Na'Vi is looking for a rego. This time, Kuroki decided to sit inside Armen rather than in the Clockwork. Might be a better decision. We'll see if they engage here. They know that virtus.pro is all here. They're looking for it, looking for the pickoff, looking for the initiation, wait for the hook, miss the hook, awkward, miss, hook, there goes a silent Sonic Wave, completely whiffs, here comes the sleep though, but Dendi, he is BKB, he is trying to do what he can, and he is actually not getting the better of that, it's forced out as the last 2 hits up on KSI, now that can bring him down, Airman already up on the sidelines as well, and Ness fighting Funnick right here with Kuroki, coming in to help out, and actually Batrider in the end taking the kill. That is 3-for-0 with Dendi being super low, but he was able to tank all that damage while he was in his BKB and the song was going on. That is gonna be a Queen of Pain. No, I should be okay. Yes, should be okay.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Ooh, what a painful fight for VP. The Sonic Wave miss, it's so much of their actual damage, because Naga Siren isn't dealing that much damage, that they absolutely need that Sonic Wave to hit like 2 or 3 or 4 people. It hit 0. I mean, you could technically say that it hit Dendi, but he ignored it because he had BKB up. Then they use the sleep. They aren't able to bring... The idea with the sleep is if Dendi's already BKB'd, you can kill him during that time, but they don't even get that kill. They get split up. RMN with a smart lasso. I believe he lassoed Darkseer, which is the exact correct person there. Pipe didn't end up making a difference. Just a disastrous fight all around for VP. They did almost nothing right there, even after a missed hook.
Yeah, we are gonna see them try again. We have got our men once again infested with an invisibility rune. Takes off the invis rune though. This time the hookshot hits. And S outside of the cards regardless.
Force staff.
Our
Good
men
force staff.
not able to get something out of that. The infest out was still there. Or was it? There it goes! It's Airman that dies. Funnick's still on the floor because of it as well. But it doesn't matter. Bed Rider on the floor. 2 for 1 in the end. This is Na'Vi. Not the greatest fight they would have had. But it looked to start out okay. And now Na'Vi on the run. Kuroki gonna rage for extra speed. But I'm actually thinking this is not looking all too good for him. He is being abandoned completely. Vacuumed to the low ground. Would have actually maybe helped him out a little bit. Rage TP, not really ready just yet. Armlet is there. Nah, he is so dead. This is it. Yeah, that was. I mean, they got the Naga Siren, which is great because she almost finished up her heart.
I really don't get how these fights are turning out. It just seems like everybody that you expect every time. Actually, I think almost every initiation that either team has done in this game has led to the other team winning the fight. Which leads me to the conclusion, stop initiating. No, I'm just kidding. They should obviously keep playing the same way. But Na'Vi starting very, very well there. They pick off Airman extremely quickly. They hold down his heart, which of course he has now finished. And I really feel this game is kind of slipping away from Na'Vi. It's still quite even right now. Na'Vi are substantially ahead if you look at levels. Like, they are dramatically ahead on XP. Problem is, Naga Siren is getting big. He did rush that heart straight out. I think he actually sold the Ring of Health to finish this heart. And he's now becoming fairly intimidating now that these illusions can actually survive. The illusions, when you add the pipe to them, are actually much harder to bring down with, you know, one Lina combo. And once the illusions can come into play, Naga Siren's going to... And Dendi is going to get solo picked off on the bottom!
Yeah, a Hex, a Blinkin, and a Gem of True Sight, so no escape for Dendi, no BKB for Dendi. And that is an amazing pickup, and an important one as well. With this, they might be able to get this tier 2 tower bottom, because there's actually 3 people in the jungle for virtus.pro right now. No, they back off. They go for Roshan instead. That's a way bigger prize.
VP do this a lot. At the slightest game advantage, they immediately go Roshan, and it's very smart, honestly. The Naga Siren illusions are probably not going to... Oh, they remove his Lincolns? No, they didn't. Yeah, he's taking the illusions out. You can scout with the illusions. You can actually farm while you're doing Roshan. This is very smart. Not to mention Radiance. It's going to push these creep waves in, giving them even more space for a free Roshan. VP, like I said, slight advantage, go for the rush. Really smart, honestly. Nice work.
Yeah, and there's no way that Na'Vi can fight this without Dendi either, so they'll just have to wait it out. I'm actually thinking maybe they're even gonna try to stop with their aggression until the Aegis is vanished from virtus.pro, but then again, virtus.pro, they got the heart, they got the power, they got the pipe, etc. I think, and now the Aegis of course as well, they're gonna go for it. They are looking for the pickoffs, I would say. Go for the control of the map of the game.
Dire's top tower is
The problem here for Na'Vi is they've let the game extend to a point where even though the Naga Siren is behind a level or 2 relative to Na'Vi's core heroes, we're in Phantom Lancer zone. We're in Naga Siren can use her illusion generation ability, push in a lane, and put the illusions on a tower without risking herself in the slightest. She's not as good at this as Phantom Lancer is, but she's plenty good enough. And so Na'Vi, the problem is that they basically have to double down on something that's working okay, but not great. They have to double down on the ganks and the teamfight wins. And now that's against a team. Oh, Funnick is in more trouble than I think he realizes. There's an Invis rune up for Tame My Wild.
Yeah, there's the Blink and the Hex.
They can't do it.
Oh, the Blink in as well. Oh, Armin, out of position, the song is there. And actually, virtus.pro, they don't want to risk it. They back off.
That's correct. This is the correct play. That's the thing with Naga Siren. I don't know. Were you at TI? Yeah, you were, because you did interviews.
Yes.
Remember every single time that Naga Siren cast her ultimate and the entire crowd just boo? Yeah.
Boo. Yeah, no matter on which team she was on.
Yeah, even when Na'Vi played Naga, it was boo. Yeah, like nobody wants to watch this ability. It's no fun. It is a no fun ability.
Yeah, so no fight, no fun. virtus.pro, they live to wait for another engagement that they can select, that they can pick off, because that's actually just exactly what they do. And with Naga Siren being level 16 means that there's only a minute up on that song of the Siren, so they don't really have to worry about wasting it all too much. As we're gonna see them going through bottom lane once more. Let's see what they can do this time. Assault Kuras ready up on Lifestealer, so Kuroki looking pretty good. He started out, of course, in the jungle. Not the strongest start for him either, with dying in the mid lane. But right now he's turning into that semi-carry / carry, of course, that he will be, that he should be as well.
Yeah. Honestly, VP looking stronger and stronger. They actually kind of have a little more map control than Na'Vi has right now. You just see a tower trade. This is more or less equal if they trade these towers. Navi's, the tower for VP is very, very low, so it'll die quickly. Actually, Na'Vi might be able to defend. I didn't see just how low this tower is. If Na'Vi take the tier 2 and don't lose a tier 2, they actually win quite a bit just because they have more map control over the jungle areas, which Naga needs to farm. And they have to be careful, VP, because this tower's going to take quick damage. Dendi is dealing pretty beefy amounts of damage with this Yasha and Chrysalis.
Yeah, and the Blinking Lasso, it gets Arsar, Laguna Blade, he is dead, no global silence this game, but the song will still be there. Are they initiating? They kind of have to. And they will. Darkseer, Vacuum, there's a BKB still active though, and there's the Vacuum of Souls, Light Strike Array misses Sonic Wave. Still there as well, but virtus.pro, they flee. They don't get any other kills, but the fleeing is there. Na'Vi, will they be able to get the tower off the back of this? I'm not sure. Nobody, but then nobody died in that engagement for either team. Apart from, of course, Arsart getting bursted down before it happened. It is, yeah, impressive for either side.
Really bad for VP, honestly. I don't see how they defend these racks unless they win a big team fight right now.
Yeah, they have to. Then Airman looking for something, but in the meantime, his supports are getting picked to pieces. Even the Queen of Pain dies with the Gem of Truset on the floor. Last two now up on Airman. This could actually be resulting in a GG. They need their buybacks. Buyback on KSI, buyback on NS. Can they get this to turn around? Is the question. Global silence, there it is. Silencer back in the fight, and that should lead for Na'Vi to back out. They only got a tier 3 tower out of this though. They might try to look to go for more and go for a fake back, try to go again, but their HP bars don't really look like they can.
VP are facing a huge problem in these big team fights right now, which is that since the last time they fought, Batrider added a BKB, and that changes more than you might think, because now even if you get the, like, they tried to do the combo, right? So they put up the, it's almost TI2 all over again. The Song of the Siren goes. The idea is that they're going to vac following it and then use a follow-up, so they're going to vac wall Song of the Siren. All of a sudden, every single person that you would hit with that goes magic immune. Dendi uses his BKB, RMN uses his BKB, and Korakai rages. And now you have 2 eligible targets for Vacuum and Sonic Wave. And your Naga Siren, because he went early survivability and farm, still doesn't do enough damage, nor, frankly, have enough survivability to carry the game by himself.
Yeah, they do buy more time though. Like, that was a very big fight with a lot of investment, a lot of buybacks up on virtus.pro, indeed. But they do still have their racks, which is of course what it was all about. And that is something that virtus.pro can be really happy about, because they now have some extra time to get Illidan, to get his butterfly, because that's his next item gonna be. And with that Radiance, he will still be able to farm fairly fast. But look at their state of mind right now. They are so terrified that Na'Vi will pounce upon them right at this very moment, because they don't see anybody on the map. And Na'Vi, actually, they smoke off, so they are looking to pounce. Right. The drawing on the minimap is there for virtus.pro, so they realize that Na'Vi is sticking together somewhere. They think that is in their jungle, but the question is that actually true? The Firefly should be visible, I believe, so they will realize that it was there. Maybe not. Okay.
So because Na'Vi, just because of how badly Na'Vi actually won the last team fight, this gives them a lot of extra beef for this next battle, because Dendi has upgraded the Chrysalis to a Daedalus. Like, if you look at the gold graph, that was actually pretty even before that last fight, and Na'Vi earned over 5,000 or 6,000 gold just from that team fight. And that gives them a huge edge just by virtue of they can do so much more damage to virtus.pro than virtus.pro can do to them, especially with the number of BKBs that they now have in their arsenal.
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna try to apply some pressure here on this bottom lane. They already took down a tier 2, getting some extra golds in their pocket, and maybe get the tier 3 as well. Tier 3, of course, something that they could have avoided on the top lane, but that lane is completely pushed out. Now look at this tower, it just melts. And they are not even going to try to take it, but 122 HP. Next time the push is, they don't have to worry about the tower, because the tower will die. And they will be able to focus on that racks that they really want. And actually, they don't back off. They still have that infested life stealer sitting inside of Arden.
Radiant's top tower
They
is
absolutely,
under attack.
all they need to do is just clear VP. Yeah, VP ends up actually denying the tower just to avoid falling in the gold deficit even farther. And Na'Vi, they're just constricted VP completely. Just the damage is too much. In the end, Dendi being level 20 is, I mean, he deals about 300 auto attack damage.
They blink in, they go for our side, no global
Wow.
silence this game. Our men in the BKB tries to get out of the ensnare, can't do it. TP's out, should be able to do it just in time.
Wow.
The rest of his team backing out. Funnick getting hexed though. He thought he was safe, he thought it was invisible, but Tamar Wild with the gem. Nice light strike array, but the BKB forced out, and Funnick will take a fall, but he is the only one, and he is a support for support, which in the end is going to be favoring Na'Vi because they don't have to deal with that global silence again.
Yeah, taking out that silence is so useful for them. Now, there won't be another fight during that time, but we do have to keep an eye out on Roshan, who's now only about 2.5 minutes away. And we could see an engagement, and one that I'm not certain VP can win. But they need it,
all depends on how
absolutely.
much time they have. Well, they have, of course, 2 minutes or so. But how fast will Illidan farm? Because he is very close to his butterfly.
He is, but he's really he's just not clearing out that many waves himself. He's using his illusions to farm. So what you see is that his GPM is very good. It almost is close to Dendi's, like 480. But if you look towards the experience graph, he's leveling extremely slowly. He's level 17 to the 21 of Dendi, the 19 of Kurokai and RMN. Because, of course, if your illusions kill something 2,000, 3,000 units away from you, you don't earn that experience. And so you end up under-leveled and not able to deal, even if you have good items. Of course, Butterfly will come, and it'll be useful.
It will definitely be useful. The only downside is, if it comes fairly soon, which it can be, and she does die, there's no buyback. So if they then lose a fight, I think that they're out. Or at least lose Roshan, in which case Na'Vi will have an Aegis, in which case they're probably still out. They should be, in theory.
I agree. They don't... The thing is, they lost their tier 3s in 2 lanes already, so you don't even have the other team needing to do anything there to clear out your tier 3 after they wipe you. So Na'Vi can just walk in after a teamfight win and clean up at least 2 lanes, possibly 3 lanes of racks. And the Butterfly will be up for this fight, but that does mean that Airman's bought out. So if he goes on the ground, there's no Aegis this time like there was in the last big engagement. He goes down for the count.
Yep. This is their go. Our men turn into a piglet. There's still an infested lifesteal in there. There's the global silence. The BKBs are turned on. People looking for people to hit, but they can't find him because virtus.pro, they backed off with all those BKBs on. They realized we might as well wait it out. But the hook shot in. It catches too. Requiem of Souls on the back end of things. There's the song. And everybody pauses. No more BKBs. No more rages. There comes a flame break. Trying to help out. Doesn't hit anybody. In the meantime, the range racks are already very low. There's a fortification. Finally, with a double damage rune of Dendi, you have to watch out for those racks. KSI trying to protect it. Vacuum in. There goes Dendi. Telekinesis hacks. Dendi, he drops very fast. Funnick now right in the enemy base. Lands on Laguna Blade, but will also die with the clockwork getting picked off. No racks going down in the end. Kuroki TPing out. Our men already in the base. But what was that? Why were they still there with just 3 and not everybody? And now they might lose Roshan.
They thought that they could at least clear out a couple more VP heroes and finish the Raxes. Honestly, I kind of thought so too. My game sense has been very bad this game, I guess, because VP are more cooldown dependent, like a lot more cooldown dependent. So you'd think that in a longer engagement, Na'Vi should be able to take it, but that's the thing. A longer engagement also favors this Radiance rushing Naga Siren. It scales more and more and more. Your BKBs run out, you're no longer immune to sort of this damage over time, and that means VP will eventually just grind you out. Some good plays, but really it's just a matter of grinding. Actually, one really good play, VP backs off and then leaps onto Dendi. That was a very, very good Dendi kill there, because he's a lot of Navi's damage. There's Roshan, number 2, the Aegis on this Naga Siren. Every time you want to count VP out in this game, they just get a good team fight and get themselves back in.
Yeah, and he is already pretty difficult to take down with that Butterfly, with that heart, and there's no MKB up on Na'Vi at all, so they have to burn through that evasion, and it's gonna be really tough. And it will be really tough. We're gonna see how they're gonna be dealing with that though, because Na'Vi, they are still of course not looking to give up. I mean, they're a fighting team.
Oh no.
And we're gonna see them continuing until the bitter end. it could all depend on one team fight, but then again, as we just saw, I mean, we at some point saw a big team fight, like everything thrown at each other, and then nobody really died. That's the strength of both teams. Like, they can just choose to back out and then wait for BKBs to end, which is what Virtus.pro did at the start of the previous fight. Or they can, you know, they can just survive, and that will make for long team fights. As you said, the Radiance will be very, very good for that. But
absolutely, the team fights are going to get longer and longer, frankly, just because Dendi is almost, like, he's not capped in terms of how much damage he can deal, but Shadow Fiend does not scale extremely hard into the late game. Like, he's going to get his max levels and stuff, but he's not going to be dealing that much more damage. Right now, Na'Vi are smoked up, trying to get a kill. What they can actually do is backdoor the Raxes. I'd love to see them do that, because they have the damage.
Well, there was the drawing on the minimap coming up from NS, exactly where Na'Vi were at that point. And Na'Vi actually backs off. They wouldn't have the lanes. The lanes are all pushing into their own base, so that's not a favorable position to be in when trying to take a fight. We do see a drawing coming out from NS once again. Maybe the lane that they want to take? No, or maybe, actually. They could try this. Do they have a smoke? No, they don't. This is just them moving around. There's no vision for Na'Vi up on them. There's no wards up on the map. All the gems preventing that from happening. Actually, there's a couple of wards from Virtus.pro on the map. They are the ones that have still a gem up on Tame My Wild. But we see both teams sticking together, realizing that any kind of engagement right now could be the very last of them.
Yeah, definitely. I really want to see what the next items are for Tame My Wild and RMN, because they're both holding on to an extremely large amount of gold. They don't need to save that much for buyback. They can start buying out their next item. I mean, I would certainly love to see something like a Sheepstick, a Scythe device out for Bat Rider, or even a Shiva's Guard. And the same goes for Queen of Pain, although I almost want to see some auto attack from Queen of Pain.
I wouldn't be surprised if she picks up an MKB, to be fair.
I'm not saying Mask of Madness, because that would be a bad idea. But I am saying some sort of auto attack
might
help a lot.
Blinken X! He is gonna try to BKB and walk, and Snare is still there, but as is Arman, he turns on the BKB, he is infested. Here's Kuroki. The mechanism already popped for Virtus.pro. There goes the pipe on an S. He will still drop Vacuum into the Dark Sea World. Then he tries to do what he can. Won't be able to do anything just yet, though, as there goes the hooks in, locks in Tame My Wild, but he blinks himself out just in time. Phonic, nice. Light Strike Array and Dragon Slave picks off NS, as there's the song trying to keep Naga Siren safe, but Kuroki and Armen looking to make an end to that. There goes the Aegis. Let's see what they can do after that. They should be able to take her down, even with the butterfly, even with the heart. They take her down. This is a great fight coming off from Na'Vi. How do the buybacks look? Hook hits on KSI, but he doesn't get the cogs properly because of those trees. KSI and the Force Staff, of course, helping out, and he runs fast. There is a buyback up on the Queen of Pain. She's not dead. There is a buyback up on Naga Siren actually as well, so that is the most important thing right now.
Yeah, they're okay. Virtus.pro had to have thought that they won that when they caught Dendi out, but a little bit late on the Naga Siren Entangle and Snare. I think she was far enough away that she couldn't immediately cast it, and as a result, the Ensnare only hit Dendi when he was already high grounded. And they committed pretty heavily to that fight, like they moved their heroes very far forward, which allowed RMN to come in, even silenced, and set up the Kurokai win. The other thing we have to talk about is this Diffusal Blade from Kurokai, because it was enormously important to that fight. It means that he has not one but two slows. Shadow Fiend needs his targets to stay close to him, or, you know, he runs out of the ability to kill them. Oh, here we go.
Lasso, but there's a telekinesis. Fast fingers from an S4 Staff still out, but Light Strike Array, R-Start, no global silence. And now an S, buyback still actually from Silencer. Oh, Kuroki being X'd up, but there's no damage going on him right now. They do have the Naga Siren coming back into this fight. Clockwork will still go down. Blink aways Na'Vi. They back off. They run. They flee. And they lose the Clockwork. And they gain a buyback, actually, of Silencer, which is pretty important.
They did. The problem Arsart's facing right now is Na'Vi doing a lot of mixed damage, so he was getting beat down by the Lifestealer. He was forced to use Ghost Scepter. The second after he Ghost Scepters, he gets a Laguna Blade right in the face for plus 40% magic damage. Oops! I'm dead as Silencer there. So it was smart to buy back, but Na'Vi really taking a big advantage in that in these last couple of fights, just pressuring Virtus.pro very heavily, of course. No Aegis and no Roshan for a little while as well. About 5.75 minutes.
Yeah, and there's an MKB upon Dendi. So right now, that evasion is not going to bother him anymore. And that's a big pickup.
Sheevas for Batrider.
And
Makes sense.
Sheevas for Batrider, indeed.
Way better, actually, than the Scythe device. I like this pickup.
Yeah, and he jumps himself in there every time, infested with Kuroki, of course. And he can just make sure that that aura is applied to everybody there. But this game, it's still far from over. Whoa, Kuroki, Rage TP out. Clever choice.
Yep, there's not that much that VP can do about that right now. Still watching out for what, actually, okay, so he made Ethereal Blade, Tame My Wild. This is an interesting choice. Now, what it will do is, Dendi has had the BKB for so long that he's been stuck on this 5-stack BKB basically the entire time. I wouldn't be surprised if after Manta Style he just rebuilds the BKB, or maybe even before Manta Style. Once that BKB ends, if you Ethereal Blade the Shadow Fiend, suddenly Navi's biggest source of damage is gone for a while. Korakai is basically support lifestealer at this point. He does good damage, but he spent a lot of his gold buying this Diffusal. I don't disagree, I think the Diffusal is a good pickup, but that means that they need Dendi. And that's what the purpose of this Ethereal Blade is. It's basically, how many seconds is that? 3 seconds of reprieve from Shadow Fiend striking you for, it's what, 450 pre-crit damage?
Something like that.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage, considering the fact that crit will multiply that by 2.5. So that's about 1,000 damage hitting you. Remember we did that HP comparison earlier? It's not much better looking now. Like, if Shadow Fiend auto-attacks for potentially 1,000 a hit, and you've got a Rubik who has 1,400 HP, ow. It's too bad that NS wasn't able to get Blink Dagger, because he has been holding on to this lasso. It was a big deal in the last fight. It mispositioned Navi, otherwise Navi would have had an even better fight. And he's going to hold it for the next one. Unfortunately, with no Blink, it's hard to get in to do that lasso.
Yeah, very true. He can try to counter a lasso, though. I mean, basically, Armen comes to him when he jumps in, so we might be able to make good use of it then, as I actually see some awkward warding coming off from virtus.pro in the Radiant jungle with the two of them very close together. A bit of miscommunication there, but it happens. But Navi, they're already sitting top. They're looking for a way in. They're looking for a way to pick up the racks finally.
Yep, and it's all going to come down to who actually, uses their spells just slightly better, times all these cooldown effects. There's so many extremely important abilities. All of the ultimates, of course. The Pipe of Insight, the Force Staff, the Diffusal Blade for that matter, the position... What? Well, you can't blame him for that. You had to answer the door.
Yeah, and you know what? My sister actually answered the door earlier as well. I have next to me 3 boxes of Domino's.
Oh, what? Oh, Domino's Pizza?
No, I have buffalo wings, potato wedges, and Cinesticks.
So, my understanding is that Domino's is a pizza company that does not believe in having good games. Is this true?
Perhaps.
Because my understanding is that there's a different pizza brand that believes in good games.
True.
We won't say what it is, though, because they don't pay you.
I really hope that they are going to be a Domino's GG in Europe, though, like, just saying.
Right, right. So, Illidan has been buying out a lot this game. He will have buyback, actually. He sells boots, so this is interesting. I think this is... VP are playing the long game here. They want to win the team fight and immediately switch to split push. That's what this brown boots means. He was saving buyback, but if they win, he will immediately buy Boots of Travel and attempt to, if not end the game, at least get a Rax advantage. And so that's actually very, very clever. The thing is, it relies on them winning this team fight.
Oh, more pauses. 1-time door, 2nd-time phone. How many times is this gonna be, like, needed for people to call out puppy paws? Because twice from the same team at the same fight, are they discussing how to go in? How to move? Who to focus? Nah, they couldn't.
I mean, this seems a little bit tactical, but, I'm sure those teams have perfectly reasonable reasons for what they're doing. And the next Roshan, just to keep an eye on it, because after the next team fight, you will have both Roshan and Raxes available. In my opinion, VP, if they win the fight, should absolutely go for the Rax. If Na'Vi win the fight, they should close this game out.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Sorry, I scared my cat, so I threw something on the floor. It's there's this big team fight lurking, but it's because of pauses. Oh. And virtus.pro, or our side says probably something like, "Don't answer your phone," in Russian, with the not so nice things saying. Or what? What is he saying?
Yeah, I mean, he's saying not very nice things.
Okay. Oh,
Telephone is telephone. I can tell you that.
I thought I would translate that properly in my head as well. Yes. Oh my god, I'm really like, and the thing is, it could be such an anticlimactic fight.
Well, one way or another, this will be a climactic fight. People will die, even if it takes a minute and a half for it to happen.
But what if Na'Vi, they force virtus.pro back, they take the Rex and they back off? That's not a climactic
Well, then
fight.
that's actually but that's a very dramatic victory that they've earned. They cleared out this tier 3 15 or 20 minutes ago, and they haven't gotten the Rex. That's the thing, VP have really tenaciously held on to this barracks, and it's a big deal. This is actually, the last 2 minutes are the first time in the game when Naga Siren has had higher net worth than Shadow Fiend, by the way, so we're getting to what is sort of a tipping point, with the big caveat that anything can still happen because these fights are so driven by...
Oh, okay, so he's looking for someone. He vacuums back arm him. He flies away, though. Should be safe. We do, of course, have to watch out for Tamer while maybe blinking in and hexing someone, but everybody of Na'Vi already backed out. So it turned out not to be a fight, not to be Drax either.
You were right. You were a vastly better analyst. You're like, what if it turns out to be anticlimactic? I was like, that won't happen, Sheever.
No, there will be a fight. People will die. No. By the way, for people wondering...
Here's the thing. Roshan's up.
Yeah, Virtus.pro versus DD1.
Oh my god,
Arman! He's still infested. There will be a lifesteal out of this one. Oh my god, Kuroki TP out. He should do that. He is doing that. And oh my god, is that a major victory of Virtus.pro? No.
It's Roche. That's a huge mistake. He has no buyback on the Batrider. This is really bad.
Why was he there?
He was invis, I think. He had the invis rune, maybe.
No, he wasn't invis. Yes, he was. Never mind. He thought he was. But Tamer Wild has had a gem for a very long time.
This is cheese Roche. This is so bad. This couldn't be a worse time to lose your Batrider.
And now, like, this is a 55-minute game right now. If Na'Vi can help it, they're not going to be fighting for another 6 minutes until that Roche is gone.
Right. They have to hold it. Now Na'Vi are no longer, for the first time in this entire game, in the driver's seat of the pace and positioning of fights.
Yeah.
Where the hell is the cheese? Is that on the courier? Who is holding this cheese? I want to make a tooltip and I can't because I'm an idiot. Oh, it's on Queen of Pain.
It's on Queen of Pain.
Production values.
Oh, awesome. I like it.
That's a big win for VP. I just want to talk about it a little more because the later in the game, Dendi has a quote that I've really taken to heart that he said before even TI2, which is, the later the game gets, the more random the outcome. So if you think you have an advantage, you have to win as soon as you humanly can, because otherwise things get weird. And we're starting to see things get a little weird here, where one mistake leads to a big boss, you give a cheese and an Aegis to the other team. I mentioned that coming up on Aegis on Roshan 3, Na'Vi would actually be able to win that fight, but not without Batrider they can't. It's non-negotiable, so they were completely made the right decision not to contest it. But Dendi's almost capped. He's actually the finished Manta and a new BKB away from cap.
Yeah,
the good thing is there's still... Yeah, he just needs boots. You're exactly right, he needs bots. Lifestealer still has room to grow. But so does Queen of Pain and Silencer.
Yeah, Lifestealer just picked up himself an MKB, so more things to eat through that butterfly. And one thing though, like... Oh, I forgot what... Yeah, I'm actually thinking, like, if Na'Vi sees this slipping away from their fingers, will they at some point build something like a Necronomicon, or, you know, get some creeps and try TP into a creep that's and then backdoor?
They don't need a Necro to do that, in my opinion. They have so much auto-attack damage that if they can get into the space somehow, they
I mean,
have...
and a Necro to get into the base.
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah.
The TP
Okay.
on that.
Oh, they could do that. You're saying the cheesy little, like, they could do that with Helm of the Dom too.
Yeah.
They could replace one of Dendi's items with Helm of the Dominator, take control of a creep, move it in, do that, and then later build it into Satanic. It requires ditching probably the Yasha, but it might be worth it. We could see some cheesy stuff. It's gonna be close, honestly. We now see a big pickup for KSI's Darkseer. He has all of an Aghanim Scepter and 20 more gold, and I suspect he'll buy out for it. This will generate enormously powerful Dendi illusions. I'm actually faintly terrified. Actually, Dendi isn't stats heavy because he has Monkey King Bar and Daedalus, so the illusions won't be that scary, but they will be max level Shadow Fiend illusions dealing 140% of base damage.
Yeah, it looks like Virtus Pro, they want to go bottom. We already see Na'Vi, they're sitting in their base. They know they can't go out until the Aegis goes away. But Virtus Pro, they want to fight. They just need that good pickup. And that's the thing that Na'Vi does have. There's that initiation power from both the clock and the bat. And something that Virtus Pro doesn't really have. So they need basically to put Tamar Wild in there and blink in hex someone.
Oh, yeah.
And that's not going to be easy. You've got KSI, of course, and he can force staff Darkseer Wall and try to stay alive for long as possible. But it's not the same.
Here, we're getting an engagement, and I am honestly really scared for Na'Vi. One guy we haven't talked about in ages, actually Illidan way out in front there. Okay, they went the Satanic, so lifesteal for Dendi is a big deal here. It does improve his stats. He did ditch the Yasha for the Satanic. Makes sense, honestly. He needs more survivability. Arsard, Silencer, possibly the greatest very late game support in the game, because he scales infinitely, or very close to infinitely. People are going to give me shit for saying infinitely, but he's at 125 intellect right now, with no items, with Mechanism, Power Treads, Ghost Scepter. This Silencer actually deals a fairly decent amount of damage, auto attack. So this gives them 2.5 auto attackers to Navi's 2.
Yeah, definitely having more of an impact than a Lina would have in terms of attack damage. Of course, I mean, Lina has been landing those Light Strike arrays quite solidly, I have to say.
Yeah. Na'Vi are doing a good job because this tier 3 is so low, but they're preventing the tier 3 from dying. You can see that they are not going to deny it. They're going to keep this tier 3 alive for as long as physically possible.
Yeah.
Look at how Dendi is just acting as a bulwark against these catapults. Are they hitting the tower, though? They are hitting the tower. It's gone.
Tower's gone. Denied, even. And in the meantime, here comes the illusion hate. This is something that Virtus Pro can continue to do. The illusions of Naga Siren are very tanky. And if she continuously sends her illusions, as well as the Manta illusions, up to the high ground, slowly but steadily, this Rax will lose its HP and will be dropped to 0 at some point.
Yeah, I mean, they're basically, you know, run phantom_lancer.exe, right? Like, they're just, or anti-mage for that matter, they're using the Naga because she is a strong illusion hero, and has Manta style for that matter, to just siege Na'Vi. So, in my opinion, VP don't even need to use the Aegis, which by the way is about to expire, because they're pretty safe at this point. Na'Vi are hemmed in. They're hemmed in very effectively. It's going to take some sort of big concerted push for Na'Vi to actually leave their base. Yeah,
and in the 60-minute game, rather, 250 gold in favor of Na'Vi, which is basically nothing, of course.
2,500.
2,500, rather, yes. 15,000 experience still in favor of Na'Vi, which is impressive considering that we're reaching the point where that experience graph is not going to be mattering anymore because everybody at some point will be reaching level 25. We already have got 2 level 25s, and at some point it will be 0 again. But this difference comes, of course, from the fact that basically Na'Vi have got one hard support. And the others are all, like, you have Lifestealer, he was in the jungle as their secondary, you know, non-laning hero. And then you got Virtus Pro, who've got 2 supports that are sitting at level 17.
Yeah. And, yeah, VP in general, the other thing I mentioned is that Illidan, of course, is very, very low level for, you know, their main carry, but that's because he's been doing so much split pushing and these illusions don't generate any experience. One thing that's looking up for Na'Vi, Kurikai is starting to get pretty impressive. He's 12-3 this game, so he's had a huge game, frankly. And he's getting closer and closer to max out. He's got the Cuirass, the Monkey King bar, the Diffusal that they were using to pick off Naga, which actually, right now, it's mostly just going to blow up illusions, frankly. The slow is no longer quite as effective as it was earlier in the game. But he's level 23. You can't count this Lifestealer out. He does very respectable damage.
9,300 gold up on the Naga Siren.
Yeah, he can build whatever he wants and still buy. I actually just bought something.
Yeah.
He is buying a Daedalus for himself, so at this point, Naga outcarries Shadowfiend.
And he is done. He can only sell his Manta style and then maybe go for something else, maybe.
Which isn't a great idea.
Yeah, because you need that for the pushing.
Yep. He actually has too much gold now, actually. Like, he doesn't have anything to use all this gold with. Now, VP, they know that when you completely max your carry, you should allocate your farm differently. So one thing that we saw... refresher quap.
Going for the green build here, by the way. Just saying.
He is going the green build, you're right. Even with the power treads and edgy. I do wish that Tamai Wild went heavier auto attack, but he still has time. So, VP know, because of the Kaipi game that they had the other day, that when your carry is maxed, you have to stop giving him all the farm. At this point, they should give more farm to Arsart, because he can become a third carry for them. Taemai Wild has lots of items, Illidan has lots of items. If they give Arsart lots of items, I'm scared for Na'Vi. I am completely fucking terrified.
Yeah, Na'Vi, they know that something has to happen. They have waited until the ages vanished. They've been very careful for that entire duration. And are now ready once again to try again on their racks. Because, you know, they've been sitting at 2 bear racks for a long time. And they're just gonna try to go for it. There's an ensnare. The BKB already turned on. Forced off forward, actually. Puts our men. Oh my god, what a brilliant play. Infest out will still be there. Hello, Kuroki. Jam on the floor. And he opens up. Goes for a Ness who stole Rage. Looks like he should be able to make it to base. Kuroki, do you want to dive this? Ensnare? Kuroki, what are you doing in the fountain of the enemy team? And the rest of Na'Vi, they run. They need to run. Maybe they can pick up some people. But also KSI, 4 stops out of the cogs. He will stay alive. Denny with the Requiem of Souls. But he'll get bursted down. He will die. He will buy back. But oh my god, Na'Vi, they could have... I don't know what they could have done, but they could have done something different. They could have not dived the enemy fountain. Maybe.
Yeah, that was... Honestly, I would say that was extremely poor coordination. Oh, they might get the... He's got to clear out these catapults. They lose their range. Not the biggest deal. You didn't lose melee. They still have a Gem of True Sight sitting in their base. It looks like Arsart will take it. But a big loss for Na'Vi. They only get the ranged racks in exchange for an enormous team fight. VP can push in, take the next Roshan. That was a big loss. That was some serious mispositioning. I do have to quickly comment, like, when you see a 65-minute game... Like I said, things get weird. I haven't mentioned recently that Funnick has an ethereal blade. So this Lina can just execute people, and you did see her dealing a tremendous amount of damage to NS in that fight. That said, NS survived, and he stole Rage. And Rage is actually a huge deal here, because it makes him immune to that Lina damage as well as the race from the Shadow Fiend.
Oh, but not anymore. There he goes. Funnick though, he gets turned into a piglet. Hook shot in from Yo-Ho-Ho. Nice Track Ray doesn't hit anything, but a lasso up on Taemai Wild, leaving Dendy free to hit him dead. And Arsart, or our Airman rather, Illidan, running for his life. Buyback from Taemai Wild. Hook shot in. Yo-Ho-Ho once again. Can he get the cogs? 3 seconds until he has them. I think he won't be able to get them anymore. Maybe he will. Flame break there as well. They know who the real one is. And that is a 4-stop into safety. Hook shot in up onto Arsart. Dark Sea Wall being placed. There goes the Ethereal Blade from Taemai Wild. Hook or cogs will still lock down Illidan here, but the telekinesis will stop Dendy from attacking him. Oh, gets one attack out before it gets turned into a piglet, but it's not enough. But the ulti is. The ulti is. But the buyback is there as well. KSI goes down. Open wounds up on Taemai Wild. He just blinked himself in. He can't blink himself out just yet. Look at that attack speed from Funnick as well. The blink out is still there with 161 HP left. NS will drop. Kuroki cleaning house. Getting entangled though. And there is gonna be an open wounds up, an illusion actually. That's a bit of a miss hit there, but they will still try to go for this. Is a bot back Naga Siren, by the way. If they can kill that, that would be huge. Taemai Wild just blew up Funnick. That's his mega kill gone.
He has no buyback. He needs 100 more buyback. Kurokai's gonna go down.
Oh, he's dead as well. Is there what are the buyback? No buybacks! Everybody used it in this fight. How long was this fight? It was ages.
It was 2 minutes long. The fight was 2 minutes long, and now not a single person on this entire map has buyback. Nobody can buy back. And VP have 3 people alive, and Na'Vi have 1. You can do the rest of the math yourself. Wow, what a fight!
I'm speechless for a second there. It's like, oh my god.
Have absolutely, just to use a crass metaphor, they have balls of steel. Illidan started that fight at extremely low health and not regenerating his heart. He had only enough mana to cast 1 spell. Every single other Naga Siren on the planet Earth would have used it to cast Song of the Siren and escape. He used Mirror Image, and from that point on, VP were completely committed to the fight. And they were right to do so, because I think, Sheever, that they just won the game on the back of that decision by Airman.
I think you might be right. However, we still have a lot of farmed heroes up on this map, and we know that even mega creeps sometimes don't mean that the game is over. So I am actually expecting Boot to travel.
Roche, though, also, I think. They're gonna get another Roche. It's probably going to be KSI and somebody else, possibly Arsart. I think Arsart would be an amazing idea for either the Cheese or the Aegis. Na'Vi cannot interfere. Kurokai is still down for... God, they're so close to buyback. The math just didn't quite work out for them, but it was so close. And they can't contest this Roshan. This is Roshan number 4. VP have earned every last Rosh in this game.
Regeneration.
Team Wild with an Aegis now. This is, I mean, if it wasn't already looking bad for Na'Vi, it is definitely looking bad now. They've got one lane of Rex still standing though, and they will fight once more. I think maybe all mid, maybe TPing, trying to backdoor, get some Rex of their own, because I mean they have 2 bare Rex standing on the opposing team, so they might be able to just take down those, and then they're all of a sudden on almost even ground once again.
That's true. Na'Vi absolutely still have a shot, but they have to prevent Megas. Sheever, can you help me out? I'm kind of an idiot. What did Naga sell to fit the cheese? He had... I remember all of these items, but I don't remember what his other item was.
He had the heart. He had the boots of travel.
Whatever. It doesn't really matter, I guess.
Awkward.
Well, regardless, they have the Aegis on Tamai Wild, which is a big deal because he has to be able to cast all of his spells, refresher, and cast all of them again. He's going to be chewing through an enormous amount of mana, and his mana pool is actually pretty bad because his only big intellect item is the Scythe of Vice. The BKB gives you no int, the Refresher Orb gives you good mana regen but barely any int, and the Ethereal Blade gives you agility, so he actually doesn't have the mana pool to spam every single ability a billion times, but Aegis gives him that mana pool. Na'Vi actually may be better served allowing him to drain his mana and just ignoring him from then on in the fight, and focusing on some of these other players, especially Arsart. Arsart is still very killable, and he does incredible damage. He's now at 160 int. Silencer is like this weird, annoying little time bomb as a support, because the longer the game goes, suddenly their number 5 is a carry, and it's like, god damn it.
And we have a smiley face being drawn. Look at them go. Kuroki, infested in Dendi. We see the arrows. We see where they want to go, but it's not true. They're gonna backdoor. This is gonna be backdooring. There's boots of travels on them as well.
Yeah, they have Fortify though.
Top barracks are under attack.
There's a fortification.
Dyer's
And a run.
structures are
Well, that was
fortified.
fun.
No, it's good because if you cause them to use the fortification, you can just do it again, and at that time they won't have the fort. So if they can keep from getting Megas here, it's actually a pretty good move.
Yeah, that's the point though. Can they keep themselves from getting Megas here? Because look at those illusions. They already got the Rex down to half. And if virtus.pro just walked up the hill and only focused the Rex, they'd probably get Megas as well.
Na'Vi have still done a good job the entire game of no matter how big the Naga Siren illusions are. He gave away so he's given away the cheese now. So even though he sold an item that I no longer remember, he is now building a full cuirass with, you know, the money that he has because he still has 8k afterwards. So now we have cheese on the silencer, which I like. I was saying they need to put stuff on, they don't need to, but I would like for them to put stuff on Arsart. Here we go.
Radiance! He sold the Radiance!
Oh, duh! I was talking about it all game and then I forgot about it.
Yeah, look at the chat go momentum. I'm sorry, chat. That's the kind of stuff that you zone out as a caster, I guess. Oh, X up on Dendi, but they can't go in. But there's illusions. All of a sudden, get a bit of extra time to hit those. Like the Rex already down to 300 HP, and no hero has set foot in that base. Hook shot catches an S, but there's a song. There's a blink in, and a lasso catches Tamai Wild, but he has the Aegis. He'll be up with a full mana bar once again in just a moment. There's a global silence. Yo ho ho turned on his BKB, trying to do what he can. As I goes down, Shadow Demon will go down as well, though. Together with the Rubik, or with the Clockwork, Illidan trying to do what he can. Man fighting Kuroki. Who's gonna win? He's not really man fighting, I guess. Tamai Wild standing by and helping out, getting the kill in the end. Kuroki buys back, but Dendi, he cannot buy back right now, I believe. He is he's not in. He doesn't have buyback. This is Rex. This is game.
It's Megas. Absolutely. Veil of Discord. Funnick does an incredible amount of damage on this Lina. This is one of the highest damage Linas you will ever see in Dota 2, but I don't think Kurokai can do it. Again, Silencer just...
That's a cheese used as well, but it looks like we might see, Ghost Scepter actually helping out there. Laguna Blade will clean on Tamai Wild, though. That will help a lot. He is back, or Aaron is back, that is, looking for Kuroki. Looking for a target, can't find it, doesn't have any mana to lock anybody down. Here comes Tamai Wild again though, Funnick in some trouble, will go down as well. And this looks to be over. Funnick still buys back. But Kuroki dies for the second time this fight. Dandy is still not up for another 30 seconds. Desolator up on a RMN. Wow. Yeah, and what are you gonna do with that? He blinks into nothingness, actually. Blinks into the fountain.
So VP have won. We should feel safe to say that. I have to say, Na'Vi playing incredibly well considering, I mean, this is 3 standard players and 2 stand-ins. And they came within a hair's breadth of being able to defeat VP here. VP really having to work as hard as possible to actually get this win, so that really speaks to the strength of both teams. VP falling way behind and managing to manage the game all the way to a victory, and Na'Vi with 2 stand-ins, with Dendi playing hard carry, Kurokai playing semi-carry, Funnick playing Lina the Slayer. Still very impressive overall. Crazy game, and that's got to push out our next game by what, like half an hour?
Yep. Heads off for the stand-ins though. I mean, you just played up against one of the most top teams that you were able to, together of course with the rest of Na'Vi. I mean, that kind of helps. But able to pull off this kind of game is pretty impressive. We are going to see Virtus.pro again. This time up against a team that also was able to beat Na'Vi in the StarLadder Star Series. It is DD Dota, so that is Goblak's team up against Virtus.pro. And we're going to be jumping ourselves into that one right after this. So stick around. I'm Sheever, twitter.com/SheeverGaming. My co-caster Vykromond, twitter.com/Vykromond. And we will be with you for the next game of StarLadder Star Series Season 6, day number 13. Don't go anywhere.